Hey everyone, Shabba Gamer here, and welcome to our last episode here of Tuesday Night Raw. Of course, we do still have the Battleground pay-per-view to come for you, but this will be our last episode taking place within the Raw arena in this universe mode. Before we start our new one, hopefully next Monday. I'm hopefully going to get everything sorted by then. I should be able to. Shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, let's have a look at tonight's card. The final bit of build-up before Battleground as well. And we are going to start things off with a one-on-one match as Christian takes on Tama Tonga, and Edge and Tangaroa will be at ringside. Of course, these two tag teams are going to collide at Battleground for the Tag Team Championships. Next, we've got a Fatal 4-Way as R-Truth, Jack Jester, the Big Boss Man, and the British Bulldog collide. Bit of a random one. Then we're going to see the Giants taking on the team of Santino Marella and Grado. Again, a bit of a random one. Nikki Storm takes on Nia Jax. The Nation of Domination, Farouk and D'Lo Brown taking on the Hardy Boys. Then we have CESARO, the European Champion, taking on Michael Dante, the tag team partner of the #1 contender, Tommy End. And Tommy End will be at ringside for that one. And then our main event is going to be all four guys that are going to be involved in the main event at Battleground for the Raw Championship. Daniel Bryan, the Raw Champion, teams up alongside Goldberg to take on the team of The Rock and Owen Hart. So an interesting match there as well. So, we are just going to continue watching the three matches. So we're going to skip this one. A win there for the British Bulldog. Good match for him. We're going to skip the Giants versus the Jokers, and the Giants come out on top. Nikki Storm defeats Nia Jax. And the Nation of Domination defeat the Hardy Boys. So we've got our three matches left now then, and let's get straight into our first one. And here is that first match. As discussed, we are going to see Christian taking on Tama Tonga, and the tag team partners Edge and Tangaroa will also be at ringside. Wonder what sort of influence they're going to have in this match. And here we go. We are in Montreal, Canada. So crossing the border for this last episode of Raw. And here are the Raw Tag Team Champions, Edge and Christian. Of course, this match will be Christian one-on-one against Tama Tonga. A great way for one of these two guys to really just build the momentum going forward into that last big match at Battleground, of course. And I'm unsure who I would even put on top of this one, to be honest truth. It just looks... For me, I think Tama Tonga is probably the strongest member of his team, with Christian probably being the weakest member of his team. Obviously, Edge is a very, very strong competitor. So I sort of fancy Tama Tonga in this one, but you've got to also think about what could be the influence of the two guys on the outside. As I said, Tangaroa and Edge both on the outside. It really is an interesting dynamic. These two guys could really... We've seen it in the past on this game with managers. They are very, very effective. Compared to what they were like last year on 2K15, the managers on this year have been fantastic. I really think they've improved that tenfold of 2K in this game. There's a few things that I would like to use a bit more often that have been quite rare, though. I think in one of our random matches we recorded very, very early on in this life of the game, we saw, I think it was... Yeah, Paul Heyman threw a chair into the ring. I think it was Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Heyman threw a chair into the ring and then distracted the referee while Lesnar used the chair on Goldberg. I thought that was fantastic, but I've only seen it happen once, so... I'd like to see that happen a bit more, and I've also seen, we haven't seen it for a long time now, the referee missing somebody's hand on the rope and stuff like that, and I like that sort of stuff. I like them adding the opportunity of dodgy finishes into the match. I like that. And I just sort of wish they would do it a little bit more as well. But with 2K17 coming out now in about 2 or 3 months... it'd be interesting to see what they do add into the game. We don't know a lot of it yet. Of course, tomorrow we'll get our second set of names for the roster, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Be pretty damn cool. I'll probably discuss it a little bit as well as we go a bit further in. I might even discuss the people that were announced last week as well. I could do that. It's only a quick video to knock up, isn't it? But I'm trying to get all these... I'm actually recording this the weekend before it's due to be uploaded. I want to try and get SmackDown and Battleground also recorded today, just so I can get everything uploaded and give me a week to sort the new universe mode out, because it might take a while. It normally wouldn't take too long, but because of the download limits, that's when it takes a long time, because NXT we're going to have to download quite a few different people. And hopefully that's going to be an improvement next season. Be a lot better. So Tama Tonga now sending Christian into the corner. And I did mention on our last episode of SmackDown a few days ago, just some ideas I had for the Universe mode next year. And one that I was sort of leaning towards, and the more I thought about it, the more I tend to like it, is just sticking to doing one at a time. So maybe we concentrate on doing a Raw Universe mode, and we'd do sort of 3 in-game months worth of episodes. And then once we finish that, we'll start a SmackDown Universe mode. And again, we'll start... we'll do like a 3 months in-game worth of episodes, and then we'll do NXT. And again, then we can start going off and branch off and do some different stuff like Lucha Underground or Ring of Honor, or we could even do time frames. We could do a retro roster. We could do like a 2000 roster, an Invasion roster. The sky's the limit, really. We could do WCW as well. And I really like that idea. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of that idea, because I like it. I think it would. I think it'd be a bit better, because at the moment when we're doing, it's not too bad at the moment. We're only doing 2 rosters at the moment, but even with the 4 rosters, it was very, very tricky to keep up with what was going on in each roster individually. If you're watching, say, a playlist through and you're watching episode after episode after episode of the same brand, it's probably not too bad. But for me, obviously, I'm having to record 3 or 4 episodes in between each one. I was losing track of what was going on in each show. I really was. Losing track of who the champions were and all that sort of stuff. So I think just sticking to one brand at a time might be a really good idea. And obviously we'll upload it a lot more common as well. Maybe like for the first month or 2 of the universe mode, we can be uploading like 3 or 4 episodes a week and just completely blitzing out a whole... Maybe we could even, if we really get into one brand, we could go for an entire year. Christian is stamping on the back of Tama Tonga now, clubbing blow across the back as well. And of course, this is just so important for both these teams to take this last bit of momentum into Battleground. It really could throw the tag team championships in either way. Christian now bringing Tama Tonga back up to his feet. And so far, Edge and Tangaroa haven't had any real influence on the outside. As Christian makes way up into the middle rope. And a diving uppercut. Now bringing Tama Tonga back up to his feet once again. Spins him round. Looking for that reverse DDT. And Christian in firm control of this match at the moment. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, almost a 3 count. Wow, that was close, that was. Both guys slowly back up to their feet. Christian can't believe it. Can he continue the assault? Grabbing Tama Tonga front chancery now. Dragging him towards the corner. Tonga fights through with that big boot. And a Hurricanrana there by Tama Tonga. Stamping on the gut of Christian. And now lightens Christian up. Big DDT. Is that going to be enough to finish Christian off? Tonga into the pin. 1, 2. And oh, Christian kicked out. Christian only went and kicked out. Wow. Now Tonga looks peeved off here, taking the top off the announce table. Maybe not the wisest thing to do as Christian comes up behind him. I just swallowed the fly. Oh god. That's disgusting. Yeah. Where the hell did that come from? All the windows are shut. Oh well. So the match now continues on the outside as my voice is still struggling. Christian sending Tama Tonga back into the ring, elbow across the forehead. And Tama Tonga taking time out of the match there to take the top of the announce table has really affected him. He didn't pay enough attention to Christian. That's allowed Christian to get back in on top of this match. And there's the pin from the big elbow drop. And it is enough. Tama Tonga let his hot-headedness get the top of him there. Christian, well then again, Christian did dominate a massive chunk of this match. But just as Tama Tonga started to get control, he went to the outside and started taking the top off the announce table, taking his eyes off of what Christian was doing. Christian managed to creep up behind him. There was a little bit of a foiree on the outside until Christian finally got back in control, sent Tama Tonga back into the ring. And that was a great diving uppercut there. Shades of Cesaro, who we are going to see in our next match. There's the reverse DDT. And at this point, Christian was still dominating proceedings, wasn't he, really? It's only enough for the 2 count there, though. And Tama Tonga just lining Christian up. And this could have been it there, that big DDT. And I mean, that's the point. This is the point where Tama Tonga sort of lost it. He was in control of the match, hit that big DDT that he thought was going to finish it. And you see Christian comes back into the ring after that little exchange on the outside. And takes full advantage with this big elbow drop. That guy with that sign does my head in. And there's the pin. And he did get the 3 count from that. So Edge and Christian are going to be taking the momentum forward into Battleground this Sunday. Christian's very, very happy, as Edge is on the outside as well. Tama Tonga and Tangaroa, it's not the end of the road for them. They've still got that championship match on Sunday. They need to take a step back. They need to regroup. They need to replan, and they can still walk out of this universe mode with the tag team championships. And here is our second match of the evening. It is going to be Cesaro taking on Michael Dante. With Tommy End, the #1 contender for Cesaro's European Championship at ringside. And here we go. As Cesaro, the European Champion, making his entrance, and he's been a pretty dominant member of this roster. He's had a lot of matches. That's because I'm a big Cesaro fan, so I wanted to try and book him as much as I possibly could, really. But it was a point where it's happened quite a lot with this European Championship. Everybody who's won the championship have really looked like the underdogs going into the match. So Cesaro has been in very good form of recent. Then again, Tommy End absolutely destroyed Cesaro last week in a match which lasted all of a minute, if that. So really, this one could go either way. This one's not... All the other defences of the European Championship so far have all been really one-sided. Like I said, we've seen Owen Hart versus the Macho Man earlier on in the Universe mode. Owen Hart was in incredible form. Savage wasn't doing too well at all, and Savage came in and took the championship away. And then the same thing happened with Savage and Cesaro. Savage looked absolutely incredible form, and then Cesaro came in and took the championship away. And now the Sumerian Death Squad's Tommy End, who, if you don't know about Tommy End, he will be joining WWE in the next 4, 5, 6 months, I think. Well, I know it will be 6 months. In the next 2 or 3 months, I think it will be. I know actually today, well I say today, I'm recording this on the Sunday before it's uploaded, but the Sunday, when I'm recording this, is Tommy End's last match for Southside Wrestling in the UK. Yeah, I think he's got a last match in WXW as well. And then I think he's working a couple of little bits over in America before he finally goes into NXT. And I can't wait to see this guy. I'm a massive, massive fan of Tommy End. But this evening, of course, it's not going to be Tommy End in the ring. It's going to be his tag team partner, Michael Dante, to take on Cesaro. Tommy End will be at ringside as we get this last little bit of action for Cesaro before he defends his championship at Battleground this Sunday. So yeah, like I said last week, Tommy End demolished Cesaro in such a quick match. And it'd be interesting to see whether the same thing happens here this evening. I should imagine Cesaro is going to be much better prepared for this one. I mean, the thing that really caught Cesaro out last week was just how quick and aggressive that Tommy End came into the match last week. He just come flying in, all guns blazing. And, yeah, Cesaro just wasn't prepared at all. Cesaro now taking Dante down. Dante with a jawbreaker on Cesaro and just sends him face first into the mat as well. Dante just twisting the face of Cesaro. Oh, wrenching at that neck as well. Bringing Cesaro back up to his feet, and it's interesting to see that both guys in the ring once again are both European. That's one of the things that I like about this European Championship match we're going to have on Sunday at Battleground, is that Cesaro, the Swiss Superman, is defending against Tommy End, who is Dutch. So both guys in this match are both European, which is something I've tried to stick to quite a lot in the European Championship. I know, of course, Owen Hart was the first champion, Macho Man was the second, but we've given chances to other people. I believe we gave a chance to Piper at one point, and we've given a chance to Drew Galloway on a couple of occasions as well. And Tommy End just seemed like another natural choice. And I just wonder whether Tommy End could have been someone that would have been considered for the Cruiserweight Championship. He probably would have been, but he probably doesn't. I don't know, because I'm a little bit confused, because I was watching the Cruiserweight Classic yesterday, and I was a couple of episodes behind, so I've caught up now, and I was watching Anthony Nese, and Anthony Nese is always someone that I've sort of regarded as a big guy, but he was underneath the weight limit, so he was underneath the weight limit by about a stone as well, so I was a little bit surprised with that one. He's only 5'7". I thought he was bigger than that, to tell the truth, but he's done well, Anthony Nese. Cesaro now bringing Dante into the middle of the ring and just sends him across the ring via his neck. Now just stamping on the gut of Michael Dante, bringing him back up to his feet, and Cesaro going to look and try and finish him off there with that big uppercut. Again, both guys back up to their feet, and Cesaro sending Dante into the corner. Hoist him up onto the top turnbuckle. Dante could be in trouble here. Cesaro hooking the arms. We've seen this before. Super butterfly suplex, and Michael Dante's a big man. He hit the ground very hard there as well. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Straight into an incredibly very European uppercut. In for the pin. Is that going to be enough to finish off Michael Dante here too? It's not. Dante kicks out. Dante now slamming Cesaro down. Brings him back up to his feet now. Oh, looking for a potential air raid slam, and he hits it. Dante now bringing Cesaro away from the ropes. He'll drop him for a pin of his own. 1, 2... Oh, and almost a win there for Dante, and what would that mean there for Cesaro? Big kick in the back there by Dante. Cesaro now hoisting Dante up onto his shoulders, slamming him down, back first into the mat. And Cesaro bringing Dante into the middle of the ring. Is he looking for it? He is. We've not seen this at all, really, in the Universe mode. He's very rarely hit this move. It's a Cesaro swing. We've not seen him use that at all. Is that going to be enough to finish off Dante? It's enough to finish off Cesaro. He's as dizzy as hell now. Drops down for the pin. Dante kicked out once again. Cesaro can't believe it. Back up on his feet and a clubbing blow against the back of Dante, and a stamping on the chest as well. A big kick in the back once again of Dante. Cesaro, big double foot stomp into the gut. Is that some sort of a message there to Tommy End, who of course uses the double foot stomp as one of his finishing maneuvers? Used it successfully last week against CESARO. Another big, massive European uppercut. And that could be enough this time to finish off Michael Dante. 1, 2, and surely... No, what? Really? Michael Dante's kicked out of 2 of CESARO's finishing maneuvers now. And a CESARO swing as well. Dante gets caught with that snap suplex. Dante knows how important this is for Tommy End, for him to break the momentum of CESARO. But CESARO now locking Dante in. Neutralizer. And I think that could be game, set, match. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. CESARO does pick up the victory over Michael Dante, and he's going to take the momentum forward into the championship match at Battleground this Sunday coming up. In a match which, you know what, Dante had his opportunities. He did have his chances to potentially pull this one off, but then again, CESARO did look very impressive. He caught Dante with 2 very European uppercuts, a CESARO swing, and then finally the neutralizer to finish him off. And here's that big, showing the strength of CESARO. He's a big guy, Michael Dante, and CESARO just hoisted him up onto his shoulders like nothing really. Come on, put your sign down. Put your sign down. And there you go, there's that second very European uppercut, which I was convinced was going to be the end of the game for Michael Dante, but evidently Dante had different ideas. And then CESARO finally looking to neutralize Michael Dante. Hooked him up, face first into the mat. And Dante was down for the 1, the 2, and the 3. There was no way he was kicking out of that. After all the damage he'd taken already, there was no way he was going to kick out of that one. So CESARO takes the final opportunity of momentum into Battleground this Sunday, where he will be defending his European Championship against Tommy End. And in fairness to Michael Dante, CESARO defeating Dante is one thing, but Tommy End is a much more dangerous person. Some of those kicks that Tommy End sends out could knock CESARO unconscious in one go, and he could lose his championship. So this is by no means finished. And here is our main event of the evening. All the 4 guys that will be involved in our main event on Sunday at Battleground will collide, but this time in a tag team match rather than a fatal 4-way. And here we go then, with our main event of the evening. The first person to enter this match is going to be our current Raw champion here, Daniel Bryan. Of course, won the belt a couple of weeks back here on Raw after cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase against The Rock. Rock was scheduled to defend his championship against Goldberg at this final pay-per-view Battleground. Rock then came into a match on Raw where Goldberg came to ringside, distracted The Rock, and allowed Owen Hart to pick up the victory over The Rock. And while The Rock was still reeling in the ring, out comes Daniel Bryan with the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashes in and takes the championship away from The Rock. So because of that, of course, Owen Hart defeated The Rock, which means he's in the match. Daniel Bryan's the champion, of course he has to defend his championship. The Rock gets a rematch, so he's in there. And Goldberg is the #1 contender, so he's got to be in there as well. So all 4 guys have made their way into this main event at Battleground. It's going to be a really interesting one. There's going to be a lot of blood, sweat and tears, I think, in this big main event to Battleground. I'm really looking forward to Battleground. It's going to be a really good pay-per-view because not only the matches here we've got on Raw, of course we've got Edge and Christian versus The Empire, Tama Tonga and Tangaroa. We've got Tommy End versus CESARO. And then of course we've got Daniel Bryan versus Goldberg versus The Rock versus Owen Hart for the Raw Championship. We've also got over on SmackDown, if I can remember correctly, we have Rock versus Austin for the SmackDown Championship. We've got Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. And then we also have American Alpha versus the Club for the Tag Team Championships. And that still allows us with one extra match that we need to try and fill And I'm thinking maybe that could be a Cruiserweight Championship match. Maybe a Cruiserweight Championship 6-way ladder match. Just to really get the juices flowing. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, actually. I like that. So Goldberg is going to be teaming tonight alongside Daniel Bryan. Goldberg, of course, unhappy with The Rock. Because Goldberg had a one-on-one match scheduled with The Rock where he was confident that he could walk away with the championship. But now Goldberg has been thrust into a fatal 4-way match. A match which notoriously could go anyone's way, really, because the odds are against you. You could be fighting somebody and the other two people in the ring could pin each other and you end up losing and you've done nothing wrong. So it's a tricky one, really. So here comes their opponents now. Eventually, here he is. Opponent number 1, the former Raw champion, The Rock. And of course, The Rock is going to be teaming up with the guy who defeated him a few weeks back, Owen Hart. So really, this is going to be a tricky match, this one. I sort of feel that The Rock and Owen Hart may be an advantage. Only because, it's only a slight thing because Daniel Bryan has the submission finisher, which is always a real trick. It's a difficult one for anybody to really get by with. It does have the running knee strike to the face, though, as well. That's the sort of move that, if he can hit, they could potentially finish the match off. However, The Rock and Owen Hart, The Rock can just blitz out a... Yeah, The Rock can just blitz out a rock bottom whenever he wants. Owen Hart can knock out a tombstone power drive anytime he wants, and that could finish the match off with in both occasions. And here comes the aforementioned Owen Hart. Somebody I'd love to see in the 2K games, and I think this year's a possibility, you know. I do think this year's a possibility, mainly because, obviously, one of the main reasons why he has had no DVDs in the past or been involved in the games in the past is due to his untimely death. His widow and WWE have not really seen eye to eye for some time. It seems to have come together at some point over the last year or two, as the new Owen Hart DVD is in creation for release. So if that is now at a point where they're happy for allowing him a DVD, which is a great thing, he should have a DVD, really. He was an absolutely fantastic wrestler, Owen Hart. But the fact that he now has a DVD means that there must be some sort of agreement now between his wife and WWE where she's happy for him to be portrayed again within the WWE. So to have him on a game would be incredible. I would love to see that. Probably quite freaky though, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if you were, say, Owen Hart's like son or something like that, and you were playing a game as your father? That'd be a little bit weird, actually, thinking about it. It would freak me out a little bit. But anyway, we start this match off with Daniel Bryan and The Rock in the ring. Rock tripping Bryan over there. And Rock just dropping a leg drop into the inside of the knee of Daniel Bryan. Now, as you may have noticed at the beginning of this episode, all the rivalries in this brand have now been stripped. And that's mainly because I've had to try and intervene a little bit to try and keep them a little bit more interesting. Because at the moment, in this brand, for example, the game is just trying to book the same people against the same people over and over and over and over again. So I obviously put Daniel Bryan and Owen Hart part of this championship feud. Making Michael Dante versus CESARO was my idea as well, which meant that it wiped the feud with Tommy End, and then there was a tag team match earlier on in the evening as well between Edge and Christian Tama Tonga, which I made into a singles match Just again, try and make it a little bit more different. I don't want to get to a point where we're doing the same matches week after week after week. That's when it gets a little bit boring. Big kick in the back there by Owen Hart on Goldberg, bringing Goldberg back up to his feet. Massive right hand. And a big knee to the face there by Goldberg on Owen Hart as well. Goldberg now bringing Owen Hart back up to his feet in a massive clothesline. And dropping an elbow as well. I do like Goldberg, and I'm so happy that we are going to get Goldberg on the new WWE 2K17 game. I have pre-ordered it, so I have got the Goldberg version, which comes with 2 Goldbergs. I didn't realise it comes with a WCW Goldberg and a WWE Goldberg, which is pretty cool. So we'll be doing a few random matches of him when the game first comes out, just to show him off. Also, I've got the NXT version as well, so we are going to get Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, and Nia Jax on release day. So we'll be doing some random matches for them as well. We are going to try and bring the random match back in when 2K17 comes out. We'll start a brand new random match series. Especially early on, just to show off some of the new people on the game, showing off the dynamics of the game as well, how it all works, how it all looks, how it all acts as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into that, because that was really really good, and it really got us a lot of views as well, actually. I was quite happy with that. Rock now with a pin, and it's only enough for a 2 count. Both guys back up to their feet, and Rock comes across, brings Owen Hart back into the match. Rock doesn't want any more than Goldberg that he needs to take. Owen Hart now sending Goldberg into the corner. Hoist him up onto the top turnbuckle. What's Owen Hart got planned for here? Clubbing blow against the back of Goldberg, and now Super German suplex. I'll mix the word German and suplex up there to get German. Super German suplex. Big dive and elbow from the top rope as well by Owen Hart. And although these guys are teaming up here this evening, there's no love lost between any of them, as there is the sit-out tombstone piledriver on Goldberg. There's the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. You see, Daniel Bryan didn't even bother coming in the ring to break it up here. He doesn't really care, I don't think. In fairness. Now Owen Hart locking in the sharpshooter on Goldberg. Very, very painful move. And Goldberg fights free. Big kick in the leg there by Owen Hart. Now sending Goldberg into the corner. Running clothesline. Goldberg pushing Owen Hart away. Owen Hart gets him in that front chancery. Big uppercut as well. Snapmare into the elbow to the back of the head of Goldberg. Dragging Goldberg into the ring now. He has his feet up on the ropes. The referee hasn't seen it, but Daniel Bryan does come across and manages to break up the pin as Rock drops him into that reverse atomic drop. And Owen Hart here is doing so well. You'd sort of put him as the underdog in this one, Owen Hart. Although you must think that he would have at some point become WWE Champion. As there is another sit-out tombstone piledriver on Goldberg. Bringing Goldberg away from the ropes, in for the pin. And again, Daniel Bryan gets across and breaks up the pin. Wow, that was almost a win there for... It was almost a win there for Owen Hart and Goldberg twice now. And like I was saying a minute ago, Owen Hart you would probably consider as the underdog for this one. Considering the ability and the ability and everything of the guys that are in the ring. The Rock and Daniel Bryan as well, and Goldberg. Owen Hart was never a champion in his time. He probably would have been though, in the long run. And he's really showing here how good he is. Rolling Goldberg over once again. 1, 2. Daniel Bryan. Oh, couldn't get back in there, Daniel Bryan, but he didn't need to. Owen Hart now bringing Goldberg back up to his feet. Hart sending Goldberg into the corner. Hoist him up onto that top turnbuckle. What's he going for here? Again, another super German suplex, and Owen Hart is destroying Goldberg here in the middle of the ring. There's the tag, and in comes The Rock. Rock doesn't really have a lot of work left to do here. Goldberg is already dead in his bones, really. He's a dead weight here, and all The Rock's got to do is just finish him off, really. And now Rock looking for a sharpshooter of his own. This is the third time in the match now that Goldberg has been locked into a sharpshooter. And eventually, you've got to think his legs are going to give way. And of course, submissions don't do very well in this game. But when you've locked the same one in 3 or 4 times, they become a little bit more effective. And I'm hoping 2K are going to address the ineffectivity of submission moves in 2K17. I suppose when it's human versus AI, it's not too bad, but AI versus AI, they seem to struggle. Talking of struggling, Goldberg has barely been in his feet in this entire match. He started off looking a little bit stronger at the very, very beginning, but since then he's been absolutely destroyed. Rock with that right hand to the gut. Now Goldberg is looking to get back in control here. Gorilla press. They're just sending The Rock down. And Goldberg makes a tag out to Daniel Bryan. A tag which was probably very much needed here. Daniel Bryan sending The Rock into the corner. Hoist him up onto that top turnbuckle. What's Daniel Bryan got planned? Taking the Rock's taking the Rock's legs over the top turnbuckle. Now looking potentially for a superplex here. No, a super Falcon Arrow. Great move by Daniel Bryan. It's got to hurt your backside though, isn't it, when you land like that? Daniel Bryan now just wrenching back at The Rock in that reverse dragon sleeper, but Rock fights through. There's big knees to the face of Daniel Bryan. Now Rock does come across and brings in Owen Hart. Now this would be a nice combination of styles. Owen Hart versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan catches Owen Hart straight away in the Northern Light suplex. Now drops into the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Daniel Bryan is continuing the assault, just elbows to the chest of Owen Hart, now slamming the arm into the mat as well, now bringing Owen Hart back up to his feet. And now the kicks to the chest here by Daniel Bryan as well. Very, very vicious moves. And a big roundhouse to the side of the head to finish Owen Hart off here possibly. Goes in for the pin. 1, 2. No, again, Owen Hart kicks out. Daniel Bryan now lining up Owen Hart as he gets back up to his feet. I'm potentially going to see a label lock. He does roll through and lock him in. Owen Hart, though, is very, very close to the ropes, and he does manage to get the rope break straight away. Daniel Bryan, poor ring positioning there. And Owen Hart looked to try and take him up. I don't know if he was going for maybe some sort of flapjack there, or potentially a... I don't know what he was going for there, but Daniel Bryan broke free and catches Owen Hart there with that German suplex. And Owen Hart, after dominating Goldberg for so long, is now really at the back foot here against Daniel Bryan. There's the pin. Goldberg did manage to stop The Rock from breaking it up with that German suplex, but Owen Hart managed to kick out. Goldberg now sending The Rock over the top, crashing to the ground below. And Owen Hart out of nowhere takes Daniel Bryan up. Sit out tombstone pile driver. Could this be enough here for Owen Hart? Drops into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Owen Hart nearly pinned the champion. Dropkick to the back of Daniel Bryan now as well. Owen Hart nearly pinned the champion there. Now Owen Hart once again lining Daniel Bryan up. He's going to lock him into a submission of his own. But again, Daniel Bryan this time is really, really close to the ropes. But Owen Hart managing to hold him in position, stopping him from getting to the ropes. Now Owen Hart again looks like he's going for the pin. Yes, he does drop into the pin. The Rock has got Goldberg immobilized on the outside, but Daniel Bryan kicks out. Big kick in the back there by Owen Hart. And Owen Hart been really impressed with him today as the match is completely broken to pieces here. Now Goldberg just dropping the Rock on the barricade on the outside. Daniel Bryan's been busted open by Owen Hart. Who now sends Daniel Bryan into the corner, shoulder first. Daniel Bryan fighting away though. Big drop kick. Dropping an elbow into the inside of the knee of Owen Hart as well. Brings him back up to his feet. Went for a rolling forearm there, but Owen Hart caught it, avoids it. Now sending Daniel Bryan into the corner. And a running knee. And a big clothesline as well. And now Owen Hart brings in his partner for this match, The Rock. Rock is just stalking the grounded Daniel Bryan. Nice forearm. And The Rock just dropping Daniel Bryan stomach first over that top rope. And now Rock looking to line up Daniel Bryan here. Catches him. There's the rock bottom. Can The Rock drop into the pin? He's got to bring Bryan away from the rope slightly. Now does drop into the pin. One. Owen Hart's there to take out Goldberg. And it's not enough still. Daniel Bryan kicks out. One thing they've got to do in this game next year is make people's finisher maneuvers more effective. Because it is a little bit of a joke, isn't it, after a while? As much as this has been a really good match, to see so many people kick out of so many finishers just takes the mickey after a while. And this is even with finishing power turned up to the max as well. The Rock now with a pin after the spinebuster again. Owen Hart gets there and finally... So The Rock can't finish the match with the rock bottom, but the spinebuster does finish the match off. And The Rock and Owen Hart pick up the victory over Daniel Bryan and Goldberg. And more importantly, The Rock got the pin over the champion Daniel Bryan in this match. And here's one of the many tombstone power drivers hit there by... It's not a tombstone, it's a sit-out power driver, isn't it? Well, it's a sit-out tombstone. It is a sit-out tombstone power driver, isn't it? Yeah. He hit a lot of those, and a lot of these as well, these sharpshooters, like Owen Hart. And of course, as I mentioned before, the submission on this game is not very good. But I do like the fact that Goldberg broke out that one, because I hate it when somebody locks in their finisher maneuver, holds it for like 6 seconds and goes, you know what, that's enough, I'm going to let go now. It makes no sense, does it? And there was that big spinebuster by The Rock, and that was finally enough to finish Daniel Bryan off. Bryan had taken a lot of damage in this match, and the spinebuster was just the final part. And another thing I'd like him to change is what just happened there in the background. You see, Goldberg was halfway through the ropes in an animation. Owen Hart comes along with the dropkick, but because Goldberg's in the middle of an animation, the dropkick completely missed. So I'd like him to fix that as a little bit as well. That'd be pretty cool. But either way, it's a great win here for two of the challengers, Owen Hart and The Rock. The Rock may have got the pinfall, but for me, Owen Hart's been the real standout for this match. And we could have a brand new champion here at Battleground on Sunday. So guys, that is the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please be a star and hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the WWE 2K16 universe mode. Sorry, I've been recording other stuff today and I just completely keep forgetting the right words. I've nearly said the word football in this quite a few times. But yeah, I'll see you on Friday for our last episode of SmackDown, then again on Sunday for that finale Battleground pay-per-view.